Tony Alexio here, this week's Minotaur Minute. Is Trump going to bomb Iran before he leaves office? Probably not, at the end of the day, though he is talking about it. Iran has completely rebuked the 2018 accords that the U.S. is no longer part of. The IAEA says that they have stockpiled over 12 times the amount of uranium that was allowed under the accords. This has given Trump some heartburn, wants to do something about it apparently. In a meeting with the senior advisors, he talked about conventional or cyber means to respond to what Iran is doing. The advisors are like, no, it's a really bad idea, don't do it. You're about to leave office and it's going to draw in a lot of other countries. Israel is just chomping at the bit for an excuse to get into Iran. This would be exactly what they're looking for. Aside from the fact that Biden will also inherit this when he takes office January 20th. His plan was to re-enter negotiations or try to re-enter the 2018 accords. It's going to be really hard to do when you're fighting this country, and just bombing it is not going to be the end of it. The U.S. is going to be all in, and when you're all in, it's hard to negotiate nuclear peace accords. We'll see how this all rolls out. I doubt it's going to happen. I strongly doubt it's going to happen, but again, one never knows how these things roll out. Ethiopia, is that going to be the next Yugoslavia or even the next Somalia? You know, and what was a police action in the Tigray region has turned into a tribal street fight. The government offensive is pretty strong up there. It's continuing and it's spilled over into neighboring Eritrea. Thousands of refugees fleeing the area to the tune of 4,000 a day going over the border into Sudan, saying that the government forced chasing them out. So why is this happening exactly? Well, for a quick history lesson here, Ethiopia is made up of 10 ethnic regions, each with a distinct ethnicity, and they've always kind of jostled for power historically. The Tigrays have been in control since the mid-1990s, so about 30 or so years. And they've recently been thrown out of office by the new president that's currently sitting there. This guy has brought in political authority, centralized it in Addis Ababa, which is the exact opposite of what it was, where it used to be more devolved. So of course the Tigrays want their power back, and the other nine ethnic areas also want a piece of the action. So inadvertently by doing this, the current president has kind of taken the lid off of something that could be really bad for this country. If all 10 ethnic regions, the other 9 ethnic regions rather, follow behind what Tigray is doing, you could end up with a full-on civil war in this country, breaking up into 5, 6, 7, even 10 different countries. A bad scene for what is usually a stable and prosperous country in Eastern Africa. The neighbors, Kenya and Uganda, they're all freaking out, thinking what could possibly happen here. Yugoslavia would be the best case scenario, where you have a number of stable countries that come out of this. It could be a Somalia, which is a bad scene. A bunch of warlords, lawlessness, anarchy. I doubt it's going to go that way, but again, one never knows. This is something that we all need to kind of keep our eye on, because this has huge implications for northeastern Africa in the near term. Kissinger, yeah, he's back. Is he right about China? Well, Henry Kissinger puts out a warning out today that U.S. and China is heading on a course towards conflict that could be more devastating than World War I, unless Biden, when he takes office, is able to reverse some of the other rhetoric and posturing that the Trump administration has been doing and restoring lines of communication with Beijing. During the Trump era, the U.S. and China were clearly moving towards a Cold War. Some were arguing we're already there. And then emboldened China started with some serious posturing against Taiwan, against the South China Sea, with the crackdown on Hong Kong. All these fly in the face of U.S. policy in the region. And on the flip side, add to that a trade war, Trump leading the charge, blaming China with the spread of the coronavirus. You have a diplomatic relationship that's about its lowest point that it's ever been. The U.S. and China have both rarely faced off against countries of equal strength. This is one of the first times in recent history, where they're facing off against almost equals in a conflict. A conflict here could be long and bloody. Both countries have technologically advanced militaries. Both have large numbers of fighting forces. It could be a bad scene. I don't see this happening anytime soon, and unless Biden can't reverse course, we are going to be headed towards that direction. Though I firmly believe that Biden will be able to hit a reset when he comes back into power and at least pull China back into the direction it's going. Anyway, that's a little bit more than a Minotaur Minute this week. Hope everyone's doing well. I'll talk to you later. Bye.